Welcome to part 1 of a 2-part series on the Power Women of the Trades podcast.
Hi, I'm Kelly Rowlett-Presgrave. I'm president and CEO of Work With Your Hands, and we are so proud to be a sponsor of Power Women of the Trades podcast. You can reach us at workwithyourhands.com. Kelly at workwithyourhands.com is my email.
At Relentless Digital, we believe in breaking barriers and driving innovation. That's why we are extremely proud to sponsor the Power Women of the Trades podcast, supporting the voices and success of women in the home service industry. Together, we're creating a future where talent shines, regardless of gender, and diversity thrives. Join our journey at relentless-digital.com and always be relentless in your pursuit of excellence.
This episode of Power Women of the Trades is also brought to you by Forrest Perry of Forrest Perry Digital Marketing. Want to generate more leads for your service business? Trust his team to deliver quality new customer leads and protect your brand online. Check out perrymarketing.com today.
Chirp, the ultimate automation toolbox for home service businesses. Chirp helps you capture more leads, connect faster, close more deals, and create customers for life. Through text message, email, and ringless voicemail automation, Chirp can help you transform your customer's experience. Learn more in the show notes below.
Welcome to Power Women of the Trades podcast. This show is all about breaking barriers and changing the game. Our guests will feature some of today's most successful female entrepreneurs and other advocates of our industry as well. Because if there's one thing we know for sure, female-led entrepreneurship drives change on multiple levels. We want to empower women in the trade industry like you so you can maximize your potential, stay balanced, achieve long-term success, and claim ownership over your life. Let's get started.
I'm excited to have you. So I'm gonna tell the story. You know me, story time. I don't know
this story.
Well, I'm a TikToker. Okay, I'm always on TikTok.
Yeah,
and then,
Ashley has a huge following on social media.
So I was at the Women of HVAC conference, and I was there podcasting, and that was the event that Leslie had a conflict in, so she wasn't able to come. And so you came up to the table, and I was like, I know you, but I couldn't place her. And then we're like talking, and then I'm like, how do I know you? And then it clicked. I'm like, TikTok. And so does that happen a lot around town? Have people sort of
every so often. It's been really cute because it's like, I don't expect like somebody like I'm meeting to be like, I watch all your videos, and it's just, I find it so adorable.
What about younger girls that see your stuff and follow you? Have you had any cool experiences with them being like, I think I might want to check out the trades?
Oh my gosh, it's been so cute. I've had so many like 18, 19, like the younger generation, they'll message me and be like, you're the reason why I'm going to try to start doing HVAC or electrical or something in the trade. I'm like, that is so cool. If you need any help, just reach out. Like, I'm always here, whether it takes me a day to message everyone back, but I will get to you.
Yeah, because we can't get all back to our messages very quickly.
And honestly, truly, what you're doing that is so cool is how you're tying in like not my generation, your generation's, how the eyes are on social media, short form video content, and you're tying it into the trades and you're making it exciting. And it's really hard. One of I think the obstacles with the trades that we have to overcome, and Cassie and I talk about this a lot, is how do we get the younger generation involved in the trades because they can do so well. There's no college loan. I mean, they can come out, make a really nice life for themselves, but it always seems to be that's not plan A. What I think you do so well, and honestly, if schools were smart and they wanted an advocate for the trades, it is people like you have created this audience, this very positive audience, not just females, like just the younger generation, period. Females, we talk about that all day long. But like you're who needs to be talking in the schools at the young, because that's truly where their minds are. It is social media gives them all their information. It gives them what's going on in the world. It's coming from people like them. It's not coming from like a news source or anyone. It's not coming from like the owned media. but you're really the perfect person to go and advocate for the trades in your area, because whether you like it or not, like the social media part holds weight with your messaging.
Yes, it really does.
And I think, okay, so how long have you been in HVAC?
Going on 5 years this year.
And then what were you doing before? Were you just like jumped in, or how did you get into HVAC?
So my husband is an HVAC. So him and his father run their business. So his dad has his own company and everything. So he works for him. And I was working, of course, during COVID and everything that happened. I was working at a airplane facility for dismantling airplanes and stuff. And it started getting slower because, not so many flights were going out. Nobody was really traveling anymore.
Was it mostly Boeing planes that you were dismantling?
Oh.
We're gonna talk about all the hard-hitting topics today.
I know, right?
Just kidding.
It was a little bit of everything. I think at that point it was Southwest that had the issues with I think they had a window pop out, so they turned it all Southwest.
They mostly fly Boeing.
Yeah. So we had all those. We would dismantle, take apart, ship, whatever. And so my husband was still working, and I really kind of wasn't. I'd go into the office every so often and stuff, and he'd be like, "You want to go with me and see like what this is about?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure. Why not? Let's see what it is." And so I started going with him and started seeing everything, and he just threw me in the field and was like, "All right, let's see if we can figure it out." And I actually did. And he was really surprised how quick and efficient I can pick up things. Yeah. So he was like, "We're going to throw you in the field." I'm like, "All right, well, I'll make more money over here then."
Yeah, that's awesome. I wondered, because I had stalker Cassie had went back at some point.
I know. I was just trying to find your account too, because you have like so many followers. I really want to find this.
Yeah, and so I went back and I thought I had seen something. But so you just jumped in feet first, and then at what point did you think maybe I should put this on TikTok, or was it just a hobby?
Yeah, I used to post the airplane stuff, and everyone loved seeing like, "Oh my God, you can see like inside an empty airplane and dismantling and stuff." So I started doing that. And when I got into the HVAC, I think it took me probably like almost a year in. And I was like, you know what? I still have some followers on here, and I switched careers. I was like, everyone's just going to follow me along. Whatever. We're here for the ride. So I'm just going to start posting. So I started posting installs, services, and everything. And, just all the trades started following and be like, "Oh my gosh, there's a girl doing this." Yeah. I'm like, okay, I can't be the only one out here either. So I'm going to start posting more and get to see other girls in all kinds of different fields: electrical, plumbing, drillers, arborists. Like there's so many different trades to get into and jump into. And I thought it was the coolest thing to see. Oh, one girl's in this company too. One girl's in this company too. And it's so small of a niche, I guess, for women to be in the field and, all kinds of different fields. So it's been so cool to see so many different women in so many different fields out there with the big, the big heavy equipment too. And I think it's the coolest thing ever.
It is so cool. And that you're inspiring others, right? I think COVID opened up so many doors where people started thinking outside of the box with career paths too. Because what happened during COVID, the restaurants shut down, everything shut down, but home services, we were deemed essential. And so that's something positive that came out of it. And like the fact that women are going into it, and you've been an advocate for that. And I think that's really like so impactful.
Yeah. And what I love is, I'll be honest with you, when we started the podcast, we've got really great feedback, and we've got really mean, hateful feedback. And some of the hateful feedback is from women. But it's like, you're not actually showing the trades. Someone told us we had finance degrees, and I was like, I wish I had a finance degree. And we're not tradespeople.
I would understand my P&L a lot better if I had a finance degree. I wouldn't have to pay somebody else to explain it to me.
Right. So, it was, you're not actually showing people that are doing the work. And we'll be honest with you, we haven't had many, and I'll tell you why. Because we've asked a lot, and not a lot of people want to do it, want to have a spotlight, want to do. So we've talked to several women who are in the field, and they're just like, love you, no, and so we appreciate that. We understand that. And so, but I do think that if you're willing and you can use your voice, and you have a great way of showing what you're doing. Like, I always try to grab some content from some of our team, and sometimes it's good and sometimes it's not. And you know how that goes, but the stuff that you're using is good, and you're showing what's happening, and I'll be honest with you. I've learned stuff I've been doing this for 10 years. I have, apprentice license. I can test. I don't want to yet. And I know more than people give me credit for, but I couldn't do it like you do, right? But watching your videos, I have learned things. And I've gone to my husband and been like, this is right? And he's like, well, yeah. But, and it's not like I was fact checking you, but I didn't want to be stupid if I used what you said. And then one of my people, you know what I mean? And he's like, fine. Yeah. So it's like really cool for me too. So like you probably don't recognize who all of your audience is.
I don't think so. Like there's only so many people that comment on there, and I'm like, okay, cool. Yeah. And I'll go to their page, see what they do and stuff. But I know there's a lot of likes and views that don't comment for me to be able to be like, that's who's watching.
There's have you had anything crazy happen to you on social media? Like sliding into your DMs? Like, what is the craziest thing you've experienced? Because I was just looking, you have like 50,000 followers. I know you've got to be getting I know you're getting positive feedback. What kind of negativity have you received, and how did you handle it?
Just like you guys, of course, with anything you post, and it doesn't even matter what you're doing.
That's not the right way to do that. Yeah. I guarantee you, someone's like, you shouldn't do it that way. This is the right way. I guarantee.
It's always going to be wrong.
Right.
No matter what you do.
So many different ways to do things.
Yes. No matter where you learned from, no matter if it was school or self-taught, or this is what you picked up and figured out, this is what works, it's going to be wrong.
100%. I saw the video. I was dead the other day. She did this video about brazing and with the valve still in, and it's like you're not supposed to do it that way. And I thought, I was watching it like, she is not. Like, I even know this. And then it was like a parody or whatever, like it's boom and whatever. And it was like, I was cracking up. It was good. But so
that was doing so great. It's so funny because I'm in a group chat with a couple guys that are in HVAC, and we're trying to come up with content to do and just like get some more stuff out there for everyone. And I was like, let's do something that nobody's going to think is right. And people think I'm being serious too. So it's been so funny to see the comments and be like,
go back and be like, disclaimer, please don't do this. Yeah, this is not safe. Watch the whole video. But
please watch till the end.
Yeah.
So you said with your husband. Do you still currently work with your husband in the field?
So we'll do jobs together. We'll go do installs together. But service-wise, we usually go on our own. Or unless it's like a slower day, we'll ride together and go knock out calls together.
So what I like about this too, or like what's interesting to me about this too, is it's totally a different perspective than the husband and wife scenario of what we talk about a lot.
What does he think about the success, like the social media stuff?
Oh, he loves it. Besides being on my phone all the time. I know I'm trying not to be. Yeah. But, there's always that side. Like it's always business or something's always coming in. Sometimes I get calls off of Instagram or TikTok like, hey, can you come service my stuff? I see what you do and I love it.
Awesome.
Yeah, so it's always like that business side of things, but
and honestly, you probably have to be careful on that too, a little bit.
Oh yeah, can you imagine? There's this random person be like, "Come to my house."
Oh yeah, you're like, on the way. Well, that's an example of something probably like women have to think about where men don't necessarily. Have to think about
100%.
Yes.
Because immediately you have to have more like guards up to worry.
Alert.
Do you feel like, you know, your husband is like, hey, come learn this and try this or whatever. Do you feel like, you know, now that you have less experience, obviously, than him, yeah. But I'm sure there's times you get to teach him something.
Because I'll learn something offline too or from somebody else and show him. He's like, oh yeah, I forgot we can do that way. And so we'll like implement it again. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like that's such a cool like vibe than the average, what we're used to, because we agree with the people who have said like you have more owners, operators, not field. And no, we absolutely agree with that. But what we have found is I don't want to say not everyone is as brave, because it's not about brave, but it's like not everyone wants to show themselves like some of us choose to, because you have to be willing to have thick skin if you're going to, because the comments can hurt.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And it's so unnecessary. Like some of the comments, you're just like, why? It's nonsense.
I'm sure there's dudes posting. I keep saying I'm sure because we see it on this side. You know, we had comments of, oh, look, it's daddy's money. And we're both like, where? We wish we had some daddy's money.
What did you say about your dad?
I was like, he's dead and left me trauma. Like, the only thing here is trauma, you know? Or they don't
left you like a suitcase full of trauma or something. Was funny. Someone was trolling.
I'm like, They're like, no money here. But they like are popping off to us on TikTok and social. So I am sure, I guess I'm assuming, I just can only imagine what you're hearing from some of these guys that just aren't as receptive of you even being in their space, because they think
women don't belong in the field.
Yeah. And you're like, bet. I love that you're
Hold my beer. Hold my beer.
Hold my freaking beer. Yes. And it's cool too, because there's so many things that you're getting in some tight spaces. I guarantee you some of these dudes can't.
Oh, yes.
You know, my husband went to one of the factories about like 9 or 10 years ago. And I remember him coming home from that. And I was like, I think still working part-time somewhere. And he said one of the things that was like really cool to him was on the factory at the end of the line, the people brazing were all women, and they hired for that because they had a steadier hand. And they like called that out in the factory tour. And I was like, you know, like that was like the beginning of me all those years ago thinking like, okay, you know, there's different opportunities out here that haven't always been presented to us.
That's interesting. I didn't know that.
You know, they just had a steadier hand.
We have a steadier hand?
I don't know if it's fact. That's what they said in the tour.
Listen, our prior guest had 6 cups of coffee this morning. I've had 4. How is that possible that we have a steadier hand?
Maybe
or just smaller?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Gravity?
I don't know.
That's funny.
That's so funny.
This has been Power Women of the Trades. Like what you hear so far? Leave us a review at Apple. And make sure to listen to our other episodes wherever you enjoy listening to your podcasts. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you on the next one.